Good afternoon and welcome to your 45-minute roots-inspired yoga practice. So this practice is based on a sequence practiced at Yoga Lab in Victoria, and I just thought I'd share it with you. It'll be a slightly shortened version of that sequence. We'll begin our practice in a seated position, so find a comfortable seat for yourself, somewhere probably towards the back of your mat. As you begin to find your seat, allow yourself to nestle into the ground, to feel a sense of heaviness. Feel nice and tall, but also relaxed. And as you relax your jaw and close your eyes, allow yourself to sense and feel, as usual, the movement of your breathing. Allow yourself to soften and to receive each breath nice and fully. Just settling in and noticing how things are today in this body, mind, and heart of yours. And then, as usual, from that calmer inner place, let's take a shared breath to mark the start of our practice. On your next exhale, completely empty your lungs. Take a nice big inhale. And a nice long sigh. And welcome once again to your yoga practice. So great to have you here. On your next inhale, open your eyes, sweep your arms up overhead. Take a little bit of a stretch of some kind. And then make your way from that position into a tabletop position. So finding your shins roughly parallel, hands spread, fingers spread nice and wide, and take on a little bit of movement, just side to side, nudging into your hips, feeling into your spine, rolling your neck around. Just a little bit of a diagnostic at the start of your practice. And then as you stabilize, again, press your hands down. It's almost like you're screwing your hands into the mat and away from one another. So nice and strong there. And then as you inhale, cat-cow breathing, lift your head, lift your bum, feel extension through the front of the body. And as you exhale, you round, press, tuck your chin, move your pelvis forwards. And those hands are still active. Inhale, heart forwards, bum up. Exhale, round. And press quite firmly. And again, nice big inhale, hands active the whole time. And exhale to round and to press. Good. Inhale to neutral spine, pause, tuck your toes at the back, and then pressing firmly with your hands and your toes. See if you can get your knees to hover just a wee bit off the mat. And from that hovering, move your bum back and then up as your head drops down, and straightening your legs one and the other into our first downward dog. Just paddling out the legs a little bit, side to side a few times. Pause in a place of stillness and take a couple breaths in downward dog. Reach your hands forwards, try to avoid collapsing into your wrists. So squeeze your baby finger towards your thumb, get that elevation in the wrists. And then walk yourself up the mat, dangle at the head of your mat, draping yourself across your upper thighs. Maybe you grab your opposite elbows, maybe you just dangle there, whatever works. And just let your neck decompress, let your head completely relax, your knees bent. A little bit of a sway perhaps. And then inhale, halfway up, straighten your legs, your torso. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Bring your hands to your hips and exhale, stand all the way back up. Beautiful. Release your hands down by your side. Bring your feet right tight together. Inhale your hands up overhead. Standing breath work. Exhale, you're going to bring your hands to your heart, interlace your fingers and press your hands forwards as you round your spine. Inhale your arms up overhead, fingers interlaced. Exhale, arms out wide down by your sides. It's similar to what I've offered before. Inhale, hands up, hands touch in prayer. Exhale, hands interlace and press away, round your spine, tuck your chin. Again, inhale up. Exhale, hands out wide. Finding that cadence of breath and movement. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands interlace and press away as you round your spine. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down. Moving into lateral flexion. Inhale, hands up. Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. Pause. Take another inhale to reach up. Exhale to your left. Since you're grabbing your right hand, go on the left. So feel like a sense of extension through the right side of your body. And breathing here. So really accentuate the sense of elongation from your right foot into your right hip, through your right rib cage, all the way up through to your right hand. Your bottom shoulder, probably trying to get it into alignment with your top shoulder, so it's not too far back nor too far forwards. It's just sort of one shoulder stacked above the other. Inhale up, switch your grip. Exhale over to the right as your hips slide left. There's a bit of a pull with your right hand pulling the left. You're not trying to rip your arm right off. You're just trying to get a sense of extension. So resist the pull a little bit by engaging the muscles of around your shoulder. So keeping everything nice and firm as you move into the stretch and breathe into that stretch. Nicely done. And then inhale up. Exhale, hands down by your sides and roll your shoulders back a few times and forwards a few times. Good. Separate your feet quite wide, about mat width apart, and then the inner edges of your feet are roughly parallel. Inhale, sit into the chair as you bring your arms up and rock the weight towards your heels. So you're going to sustain this position for a bit of time, and the placement of your arms is really up to you. So there's one position, palms face down. There's another is to so-called globe hands. You take all your fingertips, press them firmly together, and maybe even lift your elbows out wide. So you'll feel that pressure between your hands to engage the musculature in your arms. That's another variation. Still sitting in the chair. Another variation. Overlap your forearms and press them towards one another. Sit back a little further. And of course there's the standard arms up or arms forwards, or even hands behind your head, whatever works best for you. Keep breathing, keep the weight back towards your heels, stick your butt way out, a little bit of a back bend is happening. And then inhale, stand up, exhale, hands all the way down. Bring your feet back in to about hip width apart. And here we'll bend your knees a little bit and take your right ankle on top of your left knee and sit down into a standing figure four. So you're trying to find a nice distribution of weight in your foot, more towards the heel. So again, butt sticking out. There's a bit of flexion into your right foot. And then you can find the place for your hands. It might be on your knee and your foot. Could be at your hips, could be in prayer, could be that globe hands thing, could be the stacked arms thing. Whatever, find a place for your arms and keep your arms active. So even if your arms are up, put a bit of rotation into the arms to keep them nice and strong. So it's a bit of a spiraling action through the hands. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Working that hip, working your balance. If you fall out, no big deal. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands down. Again, hands on your hips, bend your knees a wee bit. This time balancing on your right leg, left knee or left ankle on top of right knee as you sit down. So we're getting a bit of a compression in the left hip. Taking that bum back in space, loading up into that right ankle. Flex your left toes back towards you, and then, of course, find the position of your hands. There should be a slight back bend happening, so you're lifting your chest even though you're sitting down. Again, your arms, wherever you've placed them, are nicely fired up, engaged. It's not so much about alignment, it's more about activation, activating your musculature into these areas of stretching. And then inhale, stand up. Exhale, hands down. Bring your feet tight together, and then sit your butt down in the chair again. You're gonna hate me, I think. Take your right hand outside your left knee, and just your left hand to your low back. Stick your butt out, squeeze your legs together, and begin to twist from your low back, then your rib cage, then your upper torso, and at the very end, then you move your neck. So we're trying to put a nice balanced twist into your spine here. Weight towards your heels, spine nice and long. It's not how far you go, but how sweet the whole thing feels. Great. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, sit down again. Left hand outside right knee, right hand to low back. Get long in your spine, then turn from low back, mid back, shoulders, neck. So always turning from the base of your spine upwards as we find this standing twist. Sometimes done with the elbow hook or hands in prayer. I like this, it feels functional to me. It's a good one. And then inhale, hands all the way up. Exhale, hands down. From here, we'll flow a little bit. And probably from here, inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, take just your right leg back, a long step, right toes tucked, and drop your right knee down to the mat. So a kneeling lunge. Find a good sense of activation in your feet right away. Back toes tucked. Inhale, hands all the way up. And here, again, hold your right wrist, reach up, and then take a side bend to the left, getting an extension now through that front side and outside of the right hip. Beautiful. And then inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Lift your back knee. This is called runner's lunge. Get nice and confident here with your feet pressing down quite firmly into the mat, particularly your front foot. From this lifted position, come all the way up into what's called crescent lunge. Your left hip's moving back, right hip's moving forwards, outer hips nice and strong. Crescent lunge. Beautiful. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, begin tipping forwards as you flare your hands. Keep that left hip back, don't let it come forwards. A leaning lunge. Breathe and breathe and breathe. And then from the leaning lunge, bring your hands to the mat, drop your back knee down. So there's the kneeling lunge. And then walk your hands back towards the back of the mat, your front toes lift, half monkey pose. You can get a bit of a stretch now through the back of the left leg. Maybe even use your right hand to draw that left foot back towards you. Good. As you inhale,
Just simply step to the head of your mat. Come about halfway up. As you exhale, fold. Do that one more time. Inhale, halfway up. And then as you exhale, left leg back, a long step, left toes tucked, left knee down on the mat. Feet nice and confident. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Hold. Now your left wrist with your right hand, reach up and exhale over to the right, extension through the front of the right hip, or left hip I should say, and the outer left hip. Keep it engaged as well, so not just ripping things apart. Functionally engaged, back toes pressing in, front foot pressing in, as you move into this full body stretch. Nice. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Let your back knee lift. This is called runner's lunge. Find a sense of confidence in your feet, particularly the big toe mound of the back foot. Inhale all the way up into crescent lunge. Keep the right hip back, left hip forwards. Outer hips moving to the bones of your hips, nice and strong. Belly drawn in, nicely activated. Breathe. And then take a big inhale and exhale, lean forwards, flare your hands. Again, this looks like a runner coming across a finish line, in their chest nicely forwards. You know, the 100-meter dash thing. Nicely done. And then look to the mat, bring your hands to the mat, lower your back knee, and go into half monkey. So walk your hands back. You get a bit of extension now through the back of that right leg. Maybe use your left hand to help to draw yourself into that stretch. Nice. And then step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to hips. Exhale, stand all the way up. Relax your hands down. Beautiful. From here, take an inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to a plank pose, top of the push-up. From plank pose, come down onto your forearms. Here it is, forearm plank, pressing your forearms in, squeezing your legs towards one another, even though they should be maybe touching. I kind of like it that way. Resisting the pull of gravity here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now from here, you see where your elbows are. One hand, the other hand in there, high plank. From high plank, exhale back, downward facing dog. And now, from downward dog, inhale your right leg up high. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Again, inhale all the way up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Good. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. There's that runner's lunge again. Find that runner's lunge. Inhale up into crescent lunge. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. From this place, we'll open out into warrior 2. So you just let your back heel pivot down and send your hands out wide. Getting your feet nice and active. Your palms can be face down, face up, whatever feels right again. And eventually your gaze is forwards towards your right hand. Warrior 2. Feet pressed down. May even feel like both feet are pressing down and a little bit of rotation clockwise to really get a good sense of activation in your feet. And lots of activation in that left leg as well. Nice and proud through your chest. Active in your arms. Beautiful. And then from here, extended side angle. Drop your right forearm down inside your right knee. So your knee and forearm are pressing against one another. And take your left hand way overhead and extend it nice and long, palm face down into extended side angle. So straight line-ish
from your left foot to your left hand, connecting all those points energetically. Good stuff. And from this place, inhale up to warrior two, straighten your front leg, pivot on your right heel, and exhale, fold forwards into a wide leg forward fold. Let your head drop down. Take a little bit of movement as you like. And then shift into a wide leg forward fold that you prefer. So you could grab your big toes and pull. You could grab your heels and pull. You could just dangle here with your hands roughly, fingertips roughly lined up with your toes. Or you could turn your hands around, palms face down, and dangle there. Again, a sense of engagement in your legs as you draw yourself into the fold. Nice. And then slowly, slowly rise up. Walk yourself to the head of your mat. Step back to that plank pose. Now, from this plank pose, drop your knees down. Squeeze your knees together. Half sort of push-ups. Exhale down. Keep your hands pressing down and rotating away from you. Exhale down, or inhale down, exhale up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Don't let those elbows flare. Two more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Tuck your toes, back and up he goes. Downward facing dog. Nice. Now from here, root into your right foot, inhale your left leg up high. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Two more times, inhale up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, step all the way through with your left foot forwards. And you're up on the toes of your right foot, runner's lunge. From the runner's lunge, inhale up into crescent lunge. And then bring your hands to your heart. Pivot your back heel down. Send your hands out. Boom! Warrior two. Good sense of pressure in your feet. Nice and spacious through the upper body. Legs active. Breathing calmly. Nice. And then from here, moving into extended side angle. So bring your left hand down, bring your left forearm inside your left knee, put pressure between your forearm and your knee. Take your right hand overhead, palm face down. Look towards that hand if you like. Creating a line of energy from your right foot to your right hand is the objective. Nice, nice, nice. And back up we come, warrior two, straighten your front leg, pivot on your heel again, facing the long edge of your mat, fold forwards again. This time bend your knees quite a bit and simply slide side to side, getting into the inner groins, letting your bum move side to side as one knee bends, the other leg straightens. Do it nice and slowly, there's no rush, you're not going anywhere. Nice. And then walk your hands towards the head of your mat again, pivoting on your toes, step back to plank. Drop your knees down to the mat. And again, 3 half push-ups. So press your hands down, rotate your hands away from you so this keeps your elbows towards your body. Exhale down, or inhale down, exhale up. 2 more. Good. Feet drop down. And then from this place, we'll simply lie down on the mat. So put your right cheek on the mat, look to the left, and bring your hands beside your bum. Passive neck twist. And then lift your chin, look the other way. And then from here, place your chin on the mat, bring your hands up by your shoulders, inhale into Cobra. Again, hands press down, they rotate away from you, elbows move towards your body. There's Cobra, and then from Cobra, just push up and back to downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, we don't linger. Walk your hands back towards your feet, dangle at the back of your mat. And here at the back of your mat, grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Let your head drop down, and then let your elbows flare this time as you lift your bum up, draw your torso down, decompressing that spine. Try to straighten your legs as much as is reasonable. Nice. Pull. And then inhale, halfway lift, hands to hips. Exhale, rise all the way up. A little shiggle, a little shake from there. All right. So bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Turn your right foot out about 30 degrees. So it's pointing to about, 2 o'clock on the face of the clock. Bend your knees and then just step the left foot forwards. You'll find Warrior One, the easy way. Lots of pressure in the back foot, front foot, and then inhale both arms up. And you can take whatever variation of the hands you want again here in Warrior One. Generally we want the left hip back, right hip forwards, arms nice and strong, whatever you're doing. Nice. And then bring your hands to your heart, pivot your back heel, and then from here we'll move into toppling tree. Begin to shift the weight to your left leg, flare your hands to the side as you bring your right leg up. There may be a little or a lot of a bend in that left leg, that's okay. Just finding extension from your back foot to your head. It could be your toes pointed or flexed, whatever feels right to you, that's perfect. And then inhale, feet together, hands at the heart, exhale, settle. Turn your left foot out a little bit, so pointing to maybe 10 o'clock. Step your right foot forwards, bend your right knee. And again, find Warrior One, your variation that you prefer. Nice. And then from Warrior One, hands to heart, pivot your back heel. Again, tipping forwards and flaring your hands, toppling tree again. Other side, get nice and active and strong in your right hip, active in your left foot. Nice sense of extension through your upper chest. More challenging to fold into it. We're trying to keep the relationship of your leg and your spine the same, so they're a nice straight line. And then inhale, stepping forwards, exhale, hands down. From this place, moving into tree, turn your right foot out again. Bring your right foot into a kickstand, calf, Lego knee, or way up high, pressing your foot to your leg to your foot, and then bring your hands wherever feels good. Could be to the heart, could be that sort of globe hands, could be stacked hands, could be behind your head, could be up. Play around with that, but pick something, stick with it, get nice and active, then feel the rhythm and the flow of your own breathing here. Long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. Good. Maybe even look up if you like to challenge yourself. Big inhale, exhale, hands come down, inhale, knee forwards, exhale, foot down, little shake, shake, shake. Turn your left foot out a little bit, and then you can place your left foot on your ankle, your calf, your knee, your upper thigh, whatever feels right to you. Find a place where you can press your leg to your foot to your leg. Try not to pop the right hip out to the side. Bring your hands to a good place for you, maybe initially at the heart, maybe eventually overhead, maybe not. It's okay, a little wobbling, okay. Oh yeah. Swaying a little bit. Nice. Take a big inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, knee forwards. Exhale, bring your foot down. Take a nice big inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, step back to plank pose. From plank pose, take your knees wide, push back to child's pose at the back of your mat. And then from child's pose, begin to sit up. As you sit up, fall to one side or the other and swing your legs out front. Bring your bum roughly to the middle of the mat. Bring your feet in, feet together, knees together. Place your hands behind your knees, lift your chest. And then just keep that chest lifted. We're not trying to round your upper back. So keep the chest lifted, lift your feet. And you can stay right there if you want. That's perfectly good. Option to lift your legs a little higher and still squeeze the legs together, or even all the way up. And also your hands could be there for support the whole time, or they might release and you try to keep your chest nicely lifted. So you squeeze your legs towards one another. Nice and active here. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Big inhale. And then exhale. Lie down on the mat, draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a little bit of a hug, a little bit of movement. Side to side, round and round we go. Where she stops, nobody knows. Good, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Now, send both legs up to the ceiling, both arms up to the ceiling, palms face one another. Feet together as best as possible. Take a big inhale and then exhale. Let your arms and feet move away from each other about 1/3 towards the ground. Pause. Then go another 1/3 towards the ground. Pause. And then go just about to the ground. Pause. Inhale up 1/3. Pause. Inhale up 2/3. Pause. And inhale all the way up. Pause. Beautiful. Let's do the full movement with breath. So inhale, feet just about to the mat, hands just about to the mat. Exhale up slowly. Inhale, open your body out. Exhale up. Again, inhale. Exhale. And last one, inhale. And exhale. Draw your knees to your chest, give yourself a little bit of a hug, and begin to rock and roll on your spine. And we're going to come all the way up and over and step back to plank pose, head towards the front of the mat. And then from plank pose, simply push up and back to downward facing dog. I'm skipping some things here, so you can thank me for skipping things. Beautiful. From here, inhale your right leg up high. Exhale, right knee behind your right wrist for pigeon pose. If this is too tweaky for your right knee, fall to your right hip. And then everybody can walk your hands forwards and offer a bit of compression here of the right hip. And breathing nice and long and slow. Maybe you stack your fists so you can rest your forehead, or maybe just stack one fist. Whatever feels right. is right. Whatever feels right is right. Yum. Feels good. And now to come out of the pose, begin to walk your hands back in. Press with your hands. Tuck your back toe. Lift your back knee. Send your right leg way back up. Give it a shiggle, a shake. Maybe even open your hip out a little bit. Dirty dog, I think it's called. And then drop your right foot down. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left knee behind your left wrist. Stay nice and tall. Here's pigeon pose, so you can go into pigeon pose. Notice that left hip is slightly lifted. You can walk down there. Or deer pose, you just let that left bum cheek, boom, drop down to the floor, and again, walk forward from there. It depends on, what's going on with those cranky knees of yours as to whether or not option A or option B makes best sense for you. So be sensitive. I'd say the knee joint is one of the worst designed joints in the whole body, so treat it with some respect. Don't hurt your knees. And rest into this shape for several more breaths. Mm-hmm. Great. And then slowly walk your hands back in. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, send your left leg up and back, give it a shiggle, give it a shake. Nice. And then bring your foot back down to the mat. From this place, simply drop your knees down and push back child's pose. Take a bit of a break there, compressing both hips at the same time. Nice. Child's pose, maybe pivot out your elbows and bring your hands behind your neck. Whatever feels right. And now from here, again, come back up on your hands and knees and simply flip yourself over so that you're lying down on your mat. Send your legs nice and long. Nice. Let's do one bridge pose. Bring your feet in. Place your elbows beside the side of your body, palms face one another, and then pressing with your feet and your elbows, lift your pelvis up from the ground, getting a good front side extension from your knees to your chest. Yum. And then slowly release it down. Send both legs out again, and then bring your right knee up towards you. Hold on to your right knee, draw it out and around towards your right shoulder. Wind removing pose, or for me, this is just a big hip compression. Pull. And then release that. Take your other knee up towards you. Pull it out and around. Pull. You can flex your ankle a little bit if you like, if that feels good. And then release that. Bring both knees up towards you. Hold on to both knees somehow, round your head in, and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And then relax and roll onto your right hip, keeping your knees together and fairly high. Drop your left shoulder down and look to the left. Maybe use your right hand to hold your knees in place. Spine twist. Nice long, slow inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, we'll unwind. Find a sense of neutralness or neutrality.
Just letting your spine settle. And final side, draw your knees in, roll to your left hip. Drop your right shoulder, extend your right hand. Maybe use your hands to hold your knees in. Spine twist again. Bit of crankiness in my hips, I can say that. Something going on there. Relax into the twist. And then when you are ready, we'll slowly unwind and send yourself nice and long into Savasana.
Actually, on your back, one more thing. Either take happy baby or dead bug. So happy baby, your legs are up.
Hold on to your feet from inside or outside and just take some intuitive movements. Whatever feels right. Or dead bug is a shiggle shake kind of thing, just to release and stimulate energy. I like this is more qigong in its style. Just shake it off. And then from that place, take yourself into Savasana.
Extend your feet long, feet flop open, hands beside the side of your body, palms face up. And just take a bit of time here to allow things to integrate, allow things to settle. We've got the energy moving all over the place in your body, and now we need to just let it come back to a comfortable spot. Using your breath as a guide to finding that sense of inner ease, inner comfort. And then for today, let's end our practices together. Begin to breathe a little more purposefully, bringing some energy into your body. Begin to move your toes, fingers, ankles, wrists, neck, face. And then take a big stretch with your arms up overhead. Stretch to one side, stretch to the other side. And then roll to one side or the other and press yourself back up to seated, exactly where we started the practice. As you come to your seat, and be nice and proud through your heart, humble through your chin, hands placed at a spot that's good for you. Let your eyes close, feel the rhythm of your breath. Exhale down to empty. Nice big inhale. And a long, delicious sigh. And thank you once again, my yogi friends, for practicing together. Hope to see you sometime soon. For real. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.